format of my daily vlogs. I share my exercise, I answer questions from the previous day's vlogs, and then I talk about whatever topic that I want to talk about for the day. So feel free to use the timestamps below as you see fit. Exercise for the day, easy half marathon done, 13.1 miles in the books on a Monday. Gonna throw the map up here, splits up here, and I've actually been putting this half marathon off for about a week or so. I had a friendly competition with a fellow small YouTuber, Goku Runner. He challenged me to hit 1K subscribers before he hits 2K. He ended up hitting 2K, and then I was at 979 subscribers. So the difference between me hitting 1K was 21 subscribers. So he challenged me to run 21 kilometers, and that is about a half marathon. So I ran a half marathon today. Woo! Done, and it felt good. About a 9:34 pace, and I am ready for a good week. Let's go. Let's get to some questions. First question comes from Ross Runs. He asks, with your cultural background, why did you choose BJJ and not a Chinese style of martial arts? Did you have any other martial arts training in the past? No, I've never had any other style of martial arts training. And it was really in 2016, 2017, I started watching the UFC and started becoming a fan of the UFC and MMA. And all I knew was that this jiu-jitsu word was thrown around, specifically Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that it works, and there was a lot of talk about the Gracie family and jiu-jitsu this, jiu-jitsu that, and it really sparked my interest at that point. I literally knew nothing about it. I didn't know if it was stand-up, I didn't know if it was grappling. All I knew is that it worked. And there was a Gracie Humaita right by my house in San Diego that I would pass by every time I went to work. And it was this big yellow sign that said, Gracie Humaita, authentic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I was like, I want to try that out. Ended up going in for a trial, and they have a week trial. I went in for the first day, and then the next day, I signed up. Ryan Babs asked, where did you get the names of your cats from? So for Waffles, my girlfriend and I picked him up from my brother's friend to adopt, and as we were driving back home, we were trying to come up with names. And she would say one, I'd be like, nah. I would say one, she'd be like, nah. And I'm pretty sure that I passed by an IHOP billboard. She says I didn't. But regardless, I somehow say pancakes. And then she was like, no. And then right after she said no, we both were like, Waffles. And we're like, okay, we're on the same page. Waffles it is. And with Olive, it's because of the shape and color of her eyes. Simon asked, what's your 2020 competition schedule look like? Any ultra marathons? Right now, I'm not officially signed up for any races. The goal is by the end of the year to run at least 150 and one 100 miler. If the races don't open back up, I'll actually just run the 50 and the 100 right around this lake, and it extends to a park. It's a 1.4 mile loop, and it's exactly what I did last year in November, December, when I ran them both self-supported. Also, if any half marathons, or even 50Ks come up, I'll probably do those for fun as well. WV Running Dawn asked a two-part question. Part one, what do you think about bodyweight training versus weight training? I am a big fan of bodyweight training, though it really just depends on your goals. If your goal is to be a power lifter or a bodybuilder, bodyweight training by itself probably isn't the best route. Though where I really like bodyweight training is more for functional fitness. If you can control your body, you'll be able to move better. And for the average general person in the general population, functional fitness is key. And to expand on this, I don't think that it should be one or the other. I think there is a time and a place for all the different types of training, not just weight training, not just body weight exercises, cardiovascular, and all the other types of training. And I really think that you just have to find what works for you and your cadence and what your ultimate goal is. And to kind of go off on a tangent, I think one thing that people don't talk about as much, which I feel that they should, is finding what works for you and what you can actually adhere to. And this goes for your diet and especially your exercise regimen. Because if you find something that you love, something that you can actually go back to on a regular basis, you'll actually get the benefits of that exercise regimen. Because if I write up a good program for you or even a good diet plan, if you don't stick to the plan, then all the benefits of that plan goes out the window. So for everyone, it could be different. For me, it's running. For me, it's powerlifting, it's jiu-jitsu, it's all of the above. But for some, it's hiking. For some, it's bowling. For some, it's ping pong. You just have to find what works for you. Part 2 of Don's question, what type of ab training do you do besides your diet plan? For me, personally, not recommended. I don't hit my abs directly ever. The only time I hit my abs is during jiu-jitsu warm-ups, and it's a couple sets and it's not that much. But my ab training or my core training really just comes from heavy deadlifts and heavy squats. And that's just the way that I like it. I really don't like hitting my core and my abs directly. It's worked well for me. I've never been injured, knock on wood. There's no wood to knock on, but I've never been injured, and I feel that my core is pretty strong. A couple notes about core and ab training. Note number 1, just because you have a six-pack does not mean you have a strong core. Just because you're shredded does not mean you have a strong core. Note number 2, there is no such thing as spot reduction. So if you want to lose your belly fat, doing sit-ups, doing crunches, doing direct ab work, it's not necessarily useless, but it doesn't really help if you want to lose that belly fat. There are a million other things that you can do that are way better. What sit-ups, what crunches, and what direct ab work is good for is that it'll build that strong core, it'll build that muscle, and you'll be able to have a stronger core. If you want to lose belly fat, you need to lose fat overall based on your genetics, not mine, not someone else's, your genetics. When you lose fat overall, your body will pull from wherever it's going to pull from. It might be a little bit of here at first, it might be a little bit of here at first, but eventually it'll be in that midsection area. You have a six-pack most likely already, or you have abs already. You just need to melt that fat off in order for it to show. So burn more calories and be in a caloric deficit. Adam asks, what are your goals for the second half of the year? Goal number 1, YouTube. Lofty goal, 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Most likely / realistic goal, 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Goal number 2, get my real estate license and start working as a real estate agent. Goal number 3, run a 50-miler and a 100-miler. Goal number 4, July Calendar Club Challenge that is going down next month, July, which is actually in 2 days. This will be my hardest challenge to date and will likely be one of my hardest challenges for the rest of my life, I feel like. I will need to run whatever number of miles on that given day. July 1st, run. July 31st, run 31, and everything in between. I am looking forward to this challenge. I am hoping that it's going to put me on the edge of that breaking point. I'm not gonna break. I'm gonna get over it, and I'm gonna come out the other side stronger. Topic of the day. So I recently got 2 questions, one from Faisal and one from Dandy Bambi, aka Mira. I'm gonna put the questions up on the screen right now, and although they are not exactly the same question, I feel that they are within the same realm of how I say disciplined, consistent, and motivated, and if I have any tips for them or for you all. So I thought I'd take this time to answer this question as today's topic for the vlog. So how I say motivated, disciplined, and consistent. For me, I just think about the life that I want to live, and the life that I want to live is an extraordinary life. And in order to get there, I know that I have to put in extraordinary work, day in, day out. Every day that I skip is a day less that I'm not going to be there. And every day that I put in work is another step closer to living that dream life or that life that I have in my head. And actually, before I even got to this point of this is all I need to do to stay motivated, to stay consistent, I feel that there needs to be some sort of tipping point, some sort of light bulb moment. And for each person, it's different. For some people, they've had it since they were 5. For some people, they don't get it till they're 40. Some people, they don't get it till they're 80. It just depends. But for me, I had that light bulb moment actually from the momentum of when I started my fitness journey. I started my fitness journey and I got fit, and I realized at that point, I was like, dang, I got fit in 9 months, and if I can apply this same work ethic to other parts of my life, consistency, day in and day out work, and just grinding, I will eventually get there to whatever goal it is that I have. And at that point, I already had a vague idea of the life that I wanted to create, of the life that I want to live because of my family background. But coming out of college, I was honestly a little overwhelmed, and I really didn't know how to get there. Like, how do I get there? And it was because of my fitness journey. And after I got fit, I looked back on the process of getting fit. That was the real connector for me of, okay, I now know how to get there. I just need to apply the principles of how I got fit to whatever goal that I have, which is to live the life that I want. I just need to do that, and I can get there. And I don't know how to get to that tipping point or that light bulb moment for you. Everyone is a little bit different, though. If you can honestly have that moment, that is going to switch everything on. And as far as tips, I really think that is the big one, because you need that in order to have everything else. Because I can give you tips, I can give you tricks, and they won't work because you haven't had that tipping point yet. But I'll get to the tips and tricks anyways, because that's what y'all asked for. So I'll give you what's worked well for me. Tip number 1. And it is a little bit morbid, to be honest with you. And I'm not really like a morbid type of person, so it is a little bit weird for me too as well. Though I think about the goal that I want, and then I think about someone with a gun to my head and saying, you better get to that goal or I'm gonna blow your brains out. And this creates a sense of urgency for me, because if I don't get to that goal, what's gonna happen? They're gonna blow my brains out. I'm gonna be dead. So I better put in the work. Like I have to. There is urgency. Though at the same time, I am also okay with the life that I have up to this point, because I accept that my life up to this point has primarily 99 or more percent has been a culmination of all the decisions I've ever made. So, the nights out drinking in college has led to my point in my life right now. If I didn't have those nights in college, maybe I would be a little bit further into my career. Maybe I would be a little bit further, and it's not just career. It could be relationship, it could be family, it could be fitness. It's a lot of things. So, right now, I'm okay with it, of how my life is right now. But what I'm not okay with is how my life will be if in a few years in the future, it's the same as it is right now. And I don't want to have that regret of I didn't put in enough work, and 10 years from now, I just look back on my life and I say, well, crap, like I'm at the same position that I was 10 years ago. So I guess that was tip number 2 of the possibility of regret from my future self. And tip number 3, because this video is already way too long, is to put my big goals out to the world. Because I don't want to be that guy that says I'm going to do it and not do it, because then I'm going to be a liar. And I guess I am kind of like a liar-ish, and that's why I say big goals. Like, big goals for me would be the July Calendar Club Challenge, like running 50 and 100 miles by the end of the year, like doing my run 10 miles a day for 30 days. Those are big goals for me. I put out smaller goals and I hadn't stuck to them. Like, I'm going to do a long run last week, didn't get around to it. Like, I'm going to do a Fitbit review on my channel, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. And I said I was going to do those things, so like maybe I am a liar, but at the same time, I think for me, it's having the urgency of those big goals of saying I'm going to put out one video a day for 366 days. So I don't know. That's what's worked well for me. So I hope you all enjoyed that video. Let me know down in the comments what you think below. Would love to hear from you all. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please, please, please let me know. If you want to catch another one of my videos, there's a video right here. There's a video right here. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helped me out. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right here. See you all tomorrow.